Hey everyone, I am Lucky.
No, I'm Melon.
And this is our couples channel. We decided to do a channel, basically a series about our wedding. So we figured that we would just give you a little backstory on how we met and how we got to this point right now. You ready? Okay. So I'm gonna start off with me. So I was single for about 3 years and, living my best life. So then when I came into the year 2022, I had just bought my home, and during Valentine's Day, I do an annual Galentine's at my house, and we decided to do love boards. And on my love board, I basically stated what kind of man I wanted, how I wanted my life to go basically for the rest of the year. And I basically stated that I was gonna start dating for marriage. So I cut everybody out that I was talking to. And then I decided to go on Bumble, one last time to give it a shot to see what I can find. And when I went on Bumble, I seen this lovely guy right here. However, I had a debate on whether I was gonna swipe on him because he was looking serious. But show your normal face. No, do your normal like stop smiling like how you would post like if normal for like a picture. So he looked real serious. So I read the bio and stuff and I was like, okay. But then he just had like a serious like mug on him. Like that. And I was like, I don't know. So instead of swiping, I just timed out, because if you time out, then you can go back to the profile. Like after 2 other people, you can go back. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and give it a chance. And I swiped. What about you?
For me, I've been single for about 2.5, 3 years, give or take. I just came out of a divorce prior to that, and really just wanted to spend some time kind of to myself. Just kind of, being able to kind of get myself together, get my house in order. I'd already purchased a home, so I had that set in my career. All those things were good, but just from a mental, and I would say spiritual standpoint, I just wanted to be able to have some time to kind of breathe, because it wasn't the easiest thing to go through that process. Then as well, I had to transition with the kids as well, because I have 2 kids, and they were kind of experiencing just that separation. Also at that time, I ended up getting majority custody with my son, who's now in high school, and I needed to focus. I felt more on them than focusing on myself. So I poured a lot of time, energy into them. And then when I felt like they were in a better space and things were better for us just overall in the household, I decided, okay, I want to date now. So went on Bumble as well. Had been aware of it prior to, because of my cousin, and went back on and came across this lovely young lady and swiped on her initially. So I didn't have the hesitation. I swiped and kind of crossed my fingers and said, hopefully, she'll write back. Everything looked good. She did, and then it just kind of, we started from there.
Oh, and side note, I was in Bumble jail. So I could not go on Bumble for like a year or so because someone reported me. So it was like by chance that I logged into Bumble and it accepted me. But we started, talking in the chat. And then one day I was like, oh, do you want to play a game? Which was like a video chat game, so I can like see him, make sure he ain't no catfish. And so we got on, we played the game sucked. Yeah. It was a bad game. I felt illiterate playing that game.
Yeah, we got on and we did probably maybe like 5 questions or so. And then we kind of said one, and then we just had this blank stare like, okay, we can't do any more of these. But we're already on video chat, so we just kind of took the conversation from there and just made it almost like a FaceTime call, basically.
Mm-hmm. And then, so we talked for a long time.
Okay. Several hours.
And then past my bedtime. So after that, we still finally we exchanged phone numbers, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we finally exchanged phone numbers, and then we were supposed to plan for a date for Sunday, but I had a bad day at work, and he was like, "Oh, it was Friday, right?"
Yeah,
he was
Friday.
like, "Oh, let's go get some drinks," and I was like, "Cool." However, I had a hair appointment, so I told him a time, and I go to my hair appointment, and you know how hair appointments are. They run a little over. But I'm over here, shout out to my homegirl, Jay, because she did my braids. And I'm over here talking to Jay like I got a date, and time is dwindling. He telling me he on his way, and I'm still at the braid shop. So now I'm over here lying because I'm like, I'm on my way too. But I still had to run to my house. I had to change. I had to call Sarah on FaceTime to make sure my outfit was cute. And then, I finally made it to the date. Tell about our date, babe.
So we went to Splitsville in Chandler Side area, and it was good. I was a little bit nervous because it was a lot of anticipation. We had talked a lot. Prior to the actual date, we had been on the phone like for hours upon hours. Like we would talk a lot all day, every day. And I know she said that wasn't the norm for her, more of a texter. So I guess meeting in person, it was that anticipation and just, a little bit nervousness on both ends. So we get together, we go inside, and we sit down, and we end up grabbing something to eat because it was too late to actually bowl. So we sit at the bar, we get some food, we had a couple of drinks, and then we started talking. And I think the main icebreaker type of question we asked is, what was the worst date or experience you've had going out with someone? And we both told each other about those experiences. And I think that kind of set the stage and the tone for the night, and it made it a lot easier just to kind of go from there. And I mean, we literally stayed in there until they closed. Then they told us, okay, well, we're closing. You guys, you don't have to go home, but you have to get out of here. So we went outside, which was the Sparkman's Wharf area, and we just sat out there until literally they kicked us out of there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Security guard came by and said, look, we got to shut down here. Hopefully you guys have somewhere to go, because we got to tell you got to get out of here. So then we left from there, and that was kind of in the night, but it was really good because it was a lot of conversation, in depth, as far as a lot of things we talked about, our past, things we like, things we don't like, and really gave a chance to really get to know each other better in person versus a lot of the phone conversation. How would the connection be in person? I think that kind of let us both know that, okay, we're going in the right direction, because it was nothing forced, there was no pressure. It was just a lot of good conversation, a lot of laughing, good times, and just felt, really good energy on both ends.
Mm-hmm. He fell in love with me at first sight. And it was a wrap. Okay. He said the streets, they can't have you no more.
But I admit, once we had the first date, I told her, what my intentions were, and I also explained to her, like, I'm gonna do my best to eat up as much of your time, because you're not going on no more dates with no one else. So after the initial date, we had multiple dates within a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like literally every other day I was like, hey, what are you doing today? Well, okay, well, it don't sound like you got plans, so we're gonna make plans. And I was planning stuff out based on just whatever I felt like doing, based off the conversations we had. I have a list that I keep on my phone. It's like a massive notepad, basically, that has like her favorite color, favorite candy, favorite flower, all the things she likes, anything we ever talked about as far as places, food places, favorite drink, favorite dish, anything that she's mentioned she wants to do, places she wants to travel to. I have it all written down. So it was easier for me to try to plan dates, because a lot of the stuff we would discuss, I would just have it down, and then we would just out plan the date, and then we would just end up going there. So,
or like the some dates that we did not plan, like when we were at the Deanna Sarah house, basketball. But I don't know, it was good. I didn't know if he really liked me though, because he was such a gentleman.
Oh, that part. No, it's adding, to me, it was adding the physical piece in. So I think sometimes with guys, we think of, okay, well, if I play my cards right and I'm nice and I take them out and I spend money, that just automatically means that you may get a kiss, or, guys may have sex, first, second date or whatever. I was more hesitant because in the past I've been the type of guy where I can kind of write you off basically if some things happen faster than what you normally would have them. So I wanted to take it a little slower. So initially, after like the first, second, or third date, and she was like looking at me crazy one night, like, "Are you gonna kiss me or what?" She didn't say it, but it was just a look. But I didn't, because I explained to her later that just a hug and a kiss on the forehead or cheek, because I didn't want us to take that next step, and then it kind of ruins the progress we were making, because we were really building a nice foundation, and I didn't want us to just base it off of the physical part of it. So I was, hesitant, and I wouldn't try or force or try to push anything, because I didn't want us to go there until we felt like we were both ready. But I think it was more so on my end because
I was ready. I forced it. But either way, it was good. But, even with all of that being said, we had a good connection. We had good times. And then we made it official. And so now we're like official, because now we are engaged. And we want to take you on our love journey and on our series of our wedding stuff. So on this channel, you'll get a lot of like us venue shopping, a lot of behind the scenes marriage stuff. You'll also get some day in the life things of us, like if we go on trips or, parties or outings that we do. Not really like any daily vlogs, but just more so like glimpse into our life. So, you have anything else, babe?
no, that's pretty much summed it up pretty good.
So yeah, so we hope you enjoy. We hope you like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. And we will see you next time. Bye.